Welcome to Strung Out, the podcast that looks at life through the lens of an artist. Your host is the artist, writer, and musician, Martin Lawrence McCormack. Now here's Marty.
Hey everybody, welcome to Strung Out, and I've got Nic Nepomiachi and Nick, aka Starcrumbs.
Yeah.
Musician, club owner.
It was, yeah.
Yeah. McHenry County guy like myself. And I, first of all, welcome and thank you for coming. What I have like a lot of questions now I want to ask you, because you had the tonic room, and how long did you have the tonic room?
About 14 years or so.
14 years.
Yeah. Started in like 2003, I think.
And did you do that to get in as because you were a musician, or were you like, hey, I just want to?
Yep, I was a musician. I went to college at Columbia College, starting out as a musician, and then I switched my major to recording. And then I quickly realized that I didn't really enjoy recording for other people.
Okay.
And then I was working at a bar down the street from where the tonic room is, and I was DJing there and bar backing. And the opportunity came. My dad was working at Denny's, and he'd been a businessman before, but he'd had some bad stuff happen to him, and then just ended up working at Denny's for $10 an hour, and then he was like, we should start a bar. And then we did.
That's very cool. That's we were talking before we started, but about Fitzgerald's, Ryan Fitzgerald's brother Bill, their dad, Chris Fitzgerald. He was kind of the catalyst, kind of like, hey, let's start a bar. And so you went, we're going to get into your background and how you got into music and everything, but while we're talking about it, so you ran that for about 10 years? Or?
Yeah, it was 14, I think.
14 years, yeah. And did you feel like it just kind of ran its course, and then you were like, hey?
Yeah, I'd done it for a long time, and I was having a kid that year.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
And I was just, honestly, then my neighborhood wasn't that great, and a couple times my son would wake up pretty early, and I'd have to go for walks at 4 or 5 in the morning, and it just got a little hairy,
Sure.
We got to get out of the city.
Yeah.
And then that was one of the catalysts for sure. And then I had done it for a long time, and I was drinking and partying a lot, and I just wanted out of that life.
It's a tough life. I mean, one of the, we touch on it sometimes on this podcast, just because a lot of these shows are geared toward independent musicians. But one of the dangers of being in independent music, or being in the playing clubs, or just working a club or owning a club is demon alcohol and everything else that goes with it. So, that's just it comes with the territory. But the survivors are the people that kind of figure out how they can manage it.
Yeah.
So did you grow up in the city of Chicago then, or?
Well, I grew up. My dad had a bar actually in DeKalb.
Oh.
Way back in the day.
Okay.
And then he sold that and then moved to Colorado and had a bar restaurant out there.
Is that what your hat there show?
That's no, that's in the same town now.
In the same town, Telluride?
Yeah.
All right. Have you played Telluride, or?
I have. I mean, I played. I didn't go to I went to high school there too. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I mean
that's getting more interesting by the minute.
At this location, I actually didn't go to prom. I played my prom.
Oh, cool.
Which was pretty sweet.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, congratulations on that. Not everybody can say that they played their prom.
I wouldn't have gotten a date anyway.
I think I went to prom once, and I think it was well, I know it was my best friend's sister, so I'm not too far behind you. She's a wonderful person, though.
Nice.
But there you go. I mean, I was kind of, I was a nerd in Marion Central in Woodstock, but we're going to listen to one of Nick's songs right now, and you also go by the alias Starcrumbs. Why is that?
Well, so I would say maybe like 3-4 years ago, I decided to just kind of start really recording music more seriously.
Okay.
Just because I felt like I created such an awesome roster of good friends that are musicians that aren't ever really, they're utilized live a lot and not really, they don't get to play and write tunes and record. And I just started to write records or songs and realized, I had some records here, and then I just started recording them at my house and would invite friends over to record on them. And then Starcrumbs is kind of like, where you're all stars and we're all maybe like slightly bigger than Stardust. Maybe we're crumbs. I don't know.
So I like that. It's kind of philosophically a good way of describing, again, just kind of the end of. Do you consider yourself an independent musician, or do you consider yourself?
Yeah, I don't have any backing or anything.
Yeah.
It's increasingly more and more expensive. Not more expensive to make records. It's just expensive to put stuff out.
Well, let's talk about one of your songs. We'll introduce it here, and what would you like the audience to first hear?
I don't know. Let's hear Robots Dancing, the first song on the first record I put out.
And what was the name of that first record?
It was called Horse Shirt.
Horse Shirt.
Yeah, and I like to say, if you don't like the record, just subtract the
R. All right. Have you watched? Are you a Spinal Tap person?
Yeah, big Spinal Tap. I was kind of in a big Spinal Tap influence band for many years called Sealed Casket.
Oh, okay. I saw that, and I was wondering about the origins of that.
That's how I met Charlie. Actually, it's like through that whole thing.
Well, you folks who have seen the interviews with Charlie Otto on this program too, and just a brilliant musician and very a deep thinker too. That guy, I like him. So we're going to listen to this track right now with Starcrumbs, and we'll be right back after.
Now this here story I thought I'd mention. I'd made a left by the old mansion. I stopped dead in my tracks, I'd wipe my grin and stop my laughing. 'Cause right then and there I saw robots dancing. I did a double take and swallowed my gum, and from that thermos poured the rum. I sat right there and parked my car. I sat and watched the whole bazaar. I'd seen those very bots before. I think we shop at the same store. Couldn't look away, I was in a trance. We all cut loose and took a chance. I got to witness robots dancing, and I must say it was outstanding. And I no longer feel sad inside. Put my hands on the wheel and I was ready to ride. Yes, last night I was enchanted, and tonight I know I'm ranting. What was that stuff that they were passing? I caught a whiff and started laughing. I now too am a robot dancing, and I must say my mind's expanding. And suddenly I feel like chanting. We all are robots that are better off when we're all dancing.
Hello, subscribers, and welcome to Inside Views of Marty Fine Art, where people are talking about their collected works by artist Martin L. McCormack, like this plein air watercolor titled River Bower, Donegal, Ireland, recently purchased by Cindy Roby.
Our trip to Ireland was such a gift. Even more so is the forever reminder of the trip we had through Marty's painting, River Bower, Donegal. It is a beautiful rendition of a path we actually had the pleasure of walking. Marty masterfully captured the light through the trees, the gentle breeze, and the brilliance of the fall-colored leaves. It truly embodies the peace and tranquility of Ireland. We will remember it always, along with the friendships made and the memories that this unforgettable painting inspires.
Thank you for supporting Marty Fine Art, Cindy. Additional originals and prints and merchandise of all of Marty's art can be purchased at martinmccormack.com.
And we're back. And you're kind of an interesting person because you've been on that side of the business end where you promoted a club and ran a club. Did that give you some insights into the plight of the ordinary musician, or did you feel like a club owner, or did you feel more like a musician who had a club?
Great question. A little bit of both, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
And I would say there are so many different kinds of musicians. It's weird to even just lump up musicians as
Right.
like a thing, because I feel like everyone's in it for different reasons.
Mhm.
And so,
Okay.
if that makes any sense.
Well, it does
some
make sense.
people just want to play the songs they wrote. Some people, want to play covers, and make some extra money. Some people are dying to be in just wanting to make an original band with original musicians and have that band practice mentality and write together.
Okay.
And I was lucky enough to have a small club where the capacity was 99, and so we could kind of cater to a lot of those bands that might not draw a ton.
Well, that's a great. I mean, I consider that a good size room for independent artists.
Agreed. Yeah.
You don't want to have
20 people and it looks busy.
Yeah, that's exactly it. It's a hard. The business is getting harder, I think, in some ways. In that there's just a lot of spaces up here in Evanston,
Mm-hmm.
and they're getting fairly big musicians for a 300-seat room.
Right. Yeah.
But that's. But the musicians that are coming in are not musicians like us per se.
Sure.
Independent musicians.
Yeah.
So they're. I mean, I'm imagining that part of the time you felt like you were running a musician charity. Taking care of independent
I mean,
artists.
they would help us out too. I mean,
Uh-huh.
we had a deal where the musicians would get 100% of the door, and then we would just keep the bar. So
Right.
it's like if you could bring 100 people in at $10 a head, you walk with $1,000 as a band.
Mhm.
And if you only brought 20, then you make 200 or whatever. So it gives that we don't have as big of a risk, and they don't
Right.
have as big of a risk either. Where like for me, if I got booked at space for when they pulled 300 people and they only bring 20, I feel bad. I don't want to play there and make them
Right.
and then ruin a relationship.
Right, and it's that relationship with clubs is it's you have to have the body count, and how do you go about generating that body count?
Well, so I don't really.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I play in a couple bands where I'm playing percussion and
Okay.
just background vocals and just doing that for fun and some extra money. But for my original stuff, I've kind of realized a few years ago that I've done quite a few shows as Starcrumbs, so to speak. But
Mm-hmm.
it's more of a headache, honestly, to get a band to rehearse, have to force them, my original music. That's why I kind of stick to recording and why I love the studio. Because, if I have to pay, give a band $100 a piece minimum, which is what I feel like musicians deserve for a gig, let's say, to rehearse and learn my stuff. I'd rather just give them $100 to come record for the day, and then we actually have some tunes that we are left with.
So you kind of I looked you up online, and I saw that you were doing some shows out in Rockford and that, but those are probably an exception to the rule as far as live performances. Then are you keeping it? You know?
No, I mean, I'll if I get a gig, I'll play it, you know.
Okay.
But I'm just not actively seeking to put gigs under my moniker.
Yeah. It's really interesting that you came up, you know, your dad had the bar out in Colorado and a great town, Telluride.
Yeah.
What was the name of that club?
It was called Lido's Cafe.
Lido's Cafe.
And actually, String Cheese Incidents started playing there like 3 days a week back in like '94. I want to say.
That's you know, the Colorado music scene is an interesting scene as well.
Mm-hmm.
They're very loyal to their bands out there.
Yeah.
We've done a lot of shows out there. We used to put on a little festival out there called Gloman Fest, and probably we had Elephant Revival.
I love those guys.
Yeah. And they went on, and I think they've gone through some personnel change. But how long were you out in Colorado then?
Let's see. I was out there like junior year of high school, and then I moved back here senior year of high school. Then I moved back out there, and was there for like a year and a half maybe.
Mm-hmm.
And then I moved back here for college.
Okay, so you went to Columbia, and you
I
just
did. Yeah.
and
For better or worse.
for better or worse. Why do you say that?
I don't know. I mean,
I hear like anybody that goes to Columbia, they've kind of, that's like the school as far as to kind of, you know, get your foot into the dip your big toe into the water of what it's like
I
to
guess
be
if
in
I
the
wanted to
Mm-hmm.
record, you know, I've had the opportunity to like be an engineer. My friends owned like a really cool studio in town for a long time.
What studio is that?
It was the IV Lab.
Oh, okay.
Um,
I do a lot of recording with King Size.
yeah, that's cool. I like that place.
You know, Mike Hagler and those guys. But I can appreciate what you're saying about getting tired, or just knowing that it's not you being an engineer, because it's a different kind
I mean,
of
like
creature.
if you're hearing the same song over and over again for 2 days straight and you hate it, unless if you're trying to make your own music, I don't know. Like I always just felt like I'd rather have a job, you know, where I get to put headphones on,
Yeah.
or just where I'm washing dishes, or you know, bartending or whatever. You know, I was a waiter. Whatever it is, it's just like I felt like I don't know.
Mhm.
I could dream at least while I'm doing that versus like
Mhm.
you know, it takes a lot of your attention to record music.
It does. I mean, you have to have, first of all, you know, great ears. You have to have patience, and I think to some degree, you know, most engineers are not musicians.
Yeah, some of them are.
You know,
Yeah.
I think that they're around musicians.
Mm-hmm.
They can interact quite well. I mean, the engineers that I know, but I mean, and then there are some guys that are very adept. Like you are, you're a musician, but you're still recording. You know. Now, when you record with your band, the musicians, that are you doing it totally out of the house, that kind of thing, or?
No, so like these records I did all at my house, I would say.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which is great to do now, because what program are you using?
Let's see. We like Horseshoe was Logic,
Okay.
and then the Starcrumbs self-titled with Charlie Otto was Pro Tools, and then also Logic. I just did a song with my friend Matt Sherrill on Ableton for the first time last week. It was put out, and that was really cool. Charlie's been telling me to use Ableton for years,
Okay.
and it was hip.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not really like running it. I'm kind of just like behind the computer, and you know, Matt's running it, or whoever,
Okay.
you know.
All right.
But it was really intuitive, I would say,
Mm-hmm.
for my first time kind of seeing it.
Yeah, I mean, God, I've used everything as from the GarageBand.
Yeah, hell yeah, I like that one too.
I mean, I like that program.
It's
and
just, yeah, you got your iPad or your
Yeah.
phone, you can actually get an idea down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And during the pandemic, I mean, I was just dropping stems off to people. You know, I'm just emailing them and having them come back, and I just said, you know, don't make it. I don't want it fancy. I don't want the Taj Mahal. What I want is like a mural at you know, a 1930s mural at the post office kind of.
Oh, nice.
You know,
Yeah.
in other words, you know, to have it rough enough.
Yeah,
but,
I like that.
I'm very intrigued by the fact you bounced around the country like this. You went out to Colorado.
My parents were divorced. My dad lived out there. My mom lived here. So,
Okay.
you know, I just like used that opportunity.
Okay.
To kind
And are you married or no?
I was, but we're separating right now.
Separated. Okay. I'm sorry to hear that.
After
That's
what? 16 years. I think.
16 years
Together.
It's hard. I mean, I was married once before, and for me, one of the hardest things was the person that I was married to had didn't understand like success for a musician. It's not like, you know, a six-figure kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's being able
artistic success.
Artistic success and being able to survive. And I think, and there's a lot of people, I don't know, you know, what your circumstances are, but that's, I remember one person saying to me, well, you're about to start writing a lot of great lyrics. I don't know if that's true or not, but
I don't know if did that work out?
Well, I did write a lot of great songs based on it, and then I remarried and married, just somebody that she's an artist for the most part, and so she got it, you know. As far as so, there's if I'm any indication, there's light at the end of the tunnel with stuff like that, but it's tough, you know. How are you finding that with your creativity?
Well, it's funny you ask. So I would say for the last, this has been going on for 6 months. So for the first 4 months, I kind of just for the first time in years, just shut down with writing music, and I would still play every day or every couple days, or I'm practicing learning how to play bluegrass guitar too.
Oh wow, cool.
Which is kind of a newer thing. And so I would still do that stuff, but I wasn't really writing for a long time. 4 months, which is a lot for me.
Yeah.
And then I just started writing again, maybe 6 weeks ago.
Okay.
2 months ago.
And was it the kind of thing that you were just so emotionally overwhelmed with everything going on that you just shut down, or was it just the muse one way?
I would just say no, No, I don't feel like the muse ever goes away. I think it's just for me. It's you just work and write.
Yeah.
I don't ever necessarily wait for inspiration, because I've got the way I write, I'm sitting on 1,200 songs or something. So I just have that I quote.
We'll get into that more in the second podcast. I don't want to spoil the creative aspect.
It's just we'll go back and there's always work to do, is what I'm saying.
Yeah. Okay. So, I'm curious to see how you go about it now. I listened to some of your songs. Is that you singing?
Yeah.
What an interesting voice you got. You got I don't want to compare you to anybody, because I always feel like that.
Well, it depends on which record, because I feel like I'm doing a different voice each record.
Well, there was a little Leon Redbone.
Oh, nice.
You know?
I'm a big Leon fan.
Are you?
I met him actually when I was
get out of
19.
Here.
Yeah.
Lucky you. That's awesome.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. In Telluride, actually.
In Telluride.
Yeah.
You know, he
at the same theater that I played my prom at. I got to meet him and see him. It was pretty cool.
So what was that like?
I was working at a bakery. It was 8 a.m. and he walked in, and he was not in costume or character, but I don't know. My mom gave me a Leon Redbone record when I was 15 or 16, and which is just weird that she gave me that. I don't know why.
But how cool, though.
But yeah, and I just knew who he was, and he walked in, and because I knew he was going to be in town, and I was like, "You're Leon Redbone." He's like, "I sure am, son, a kid." And he's like, "What's your name?" I'm like, "Nick." He's like, "There'll be a ticket waiting for you tonight," and he gave me a ticket to the show. It was pretty cool.
It's like meeting a hero.
Yeah, he's one of the greats, I feel like.
He has played occasionally at the Woodstock Opera House.
Oh, no way. That would have been awesome.
Back in the
see.
day. So,
Yeah.
but
That's so cool.
and that's a cool venue to play.
It is, yeah. Yeah, they don't really have cool stuff anymore, I would say.
No,
They're not risking it, you know?
well, and this is the problem, I want to, we should talk about that too, because we can talk about anything on the show, but a lot of clubs aren't risking it.
Yeah, it's hard to risk it. I mean, I get it.
A lot of performing arts centers like the Woodstock Opera House, and not to, but a lot of PACs, I think post-COVID have gone a safe route of nostalgia bands.
Yeah, no, totally. That's like the only thing that's paying the bills.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And maybe it's, and I'm trying to make sense out of it. Is it just, a baby boomer audience? Are those the ones that are going out? I mean, I don't know, where are the Gen Zers going? Where are younger people going? Or how are they getting their music? And as a person that ran a club, how do you get those younger people to come in?
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, really, I don't know.
Yeah.
I think the kids are listening to stuff, but they're just into what they're into, and it just happens to every generation that the older people get out of touch with like what the younger people listen to.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, did I notice a trend of like DJs and EDM music coming in? Sure. And then I also noticed like a trend of like less people, even like pre-COVID, like I noticed that people don't like to get together in a band and just write songs together.
Yeah.
That much anymore.
And
Which I feel like that was like the best part of high school, and also just for me, just the best part of it all is just like coming up with the song. Every moment after that is increasingly worse.
Mm-hmm.
Recording it, promoting it, going to play the show. It's just like the moment is the fun, the spark of like coming up with it.
Are you playing on your albums? Are you playing guitar and everything? What's your instrumentation?
Well, I'm a drummer and a percussionist, I would say first.
Okay.
But it depends. So I do a lot of percussion on the records and I sing. And then, for like the Charlie Otto record that we did, I was leading the band and teaching them the songs. And we were in like one big room with all the musicians. And so it's, I think we maybe learned the song the night before and then we tracked it the next day.
Cool.
So I'm like singing and trying to like sing and lead the song in the form of the song to try to get like the drummer, the bass player, and the guitar player to like have a solid take.
Right.
And so I got a drummer so that I can like focus on teaching him.
Who did you bring in?
My buddy Matt, who's awesome.
Are these guys, are they Chicago guys? Or are they...
Matt's in Minneapolis now.
Okay.
But he was in a really awesome big band called Mild High Club. Just phenomenal.
Sounds like a Colorado band.
I think they were like, the main dude was out of LA.
Okay, interesting.
But yeah, really like cinematic, awesome music.
And we're going to listen to another one of your songs in a second here. You're going to have to tell us which one we're going to listen to. But do you have a genre that you like to think that you're in? Because you seem like you kind of traveled.
I like to say I make Gestalt songs for carbon forms.
All right, that's I love it.
Just because it just like opens me up to whatever.
Yeah, all right.
And that like Gestalt meaning that like the whole is bigger than the like the little parts or whatever. And so like my overarching whatever it looks like as a big project at the end is what it'll be, because like I like to not be limited to genres or I just want to make different songs. Like I've got a song coming out next week that's in the 60s. It just sounds like it was done in the 60s. And then
a great musician like that is Beck.
Yeah, he's great. I'm a huge fan.
Yeah, I love the fact he jumps genres. And I always, eclectic is kind of, I always feel like the song usually dictates what kind of style you're going to end up in. I mean, I love the fact you did a country album, or almost alt country, maybe.
Yeah, maybe, I don't know. Yeah.
But well, we're talking with Nic Starcrumbs, and we're going to listen to another one of his tunes right now on Strung Out. What are we going to hear?
I guess since you mentioned that Leon Redbone song, or inspired song, we'll put that on. It's called "The Winds in China."
Okay. I'll tell you what, let's play it right now and we'll listen to it and then we can talk about it.
Oh, that's fun.
They say the wind in China, caused by butterfly wings, can lead to a tornado in Kansas. Timing is everything, and everything's alright. At least that's what this man says. So shine like dust particles caught in the light, and give away your possessions and sneak off in the night. They say the wind in China, caused by butterfly wings, can help to age your coal into diamonds. I threw a net on the sky, I got caught up in the night. I do more searching than finding. The stars that twinkle like diamonds of the night make your innards look outward and your outlook feel right. A step in Montana, walk by a buffalo, can lead to all the earthquakes in China. So shine up your spirit and polish your gold, and radiate all of your eggs from your own.
That is a great tune, and
Thank you.
I could listen to that, that style all day. In fact, it's just kind of, I just love the fact you got the clarinet, you got the whole vibe down
Nice.
perfectly, I think.
Yeah, thanks.
And you also got, with your songwriting from that song, I love the tongue-in-cheekness of it all about, just, is that an observation on life for you?
I
Or
would say
is
it's
it-
just like, a song about maybe, I don't want to say karma, but like, what you do over here affects what happens over there.
Right.
Does
that fold into your feeling of your place in the world? I mean, do you feel like your music, are you that butterfly? Are you causing?
No, I mean, maybe, but I'm not thinking about it like that. I think I just, it's weird. Like, I just will write a song and then it exists, and then, but I'm not trying to think too deep on it. I'm just right when I'm writing it.
Do you look upon your music as is this a livelihood, or do you look upon this as a passion to be fed?
Yeah, I'm just trying to kind of figure out who I am artistically. That's why I would say every album, or even others, even on that record, there's I think 3 or 4 different voices that I kind of sing in.
I love the fact you're doing that.
That's interesting. Yeah, I don't know that I do or don't. I think it may be just the fact that I haven't found my artistic voice or the style that I want to do. But I kind of knew that from the beginning, which is why I waited to have 2 records recorded in the can. I did a country record and a funky record, and I put them both out on the same day once they were done, so that I didn't want to be hey man, your last album was country, and then if I put out a funk album, if somebody thought I was a country artist or something, so I put them both out on the same day.
Kind of like that. For whoever who wants to quickly pigeonhole you, they can.
Yeah.
But with your...
It's going to be hard to find a following, though. but
Well,
I don't do it for that, really.
Let's talk about that, too, because, I mean, as a club owner and as a musician, you have to have some sort of following, I mean, but are the people that are following you...
I don't know.
Well,
to be a successful, to, like, have somebody help you pay for your albums, I definitely do. But, like,
right.
I don't know, like, success is to me just, like, actually putting something out that I wrote. Because, like, that to me is the magic part, I think, is just, like, as a musician or magician, really, because, like, who else gets to, like, come up with their idea in their head and then, like, create it, put something out. Like, it's really hard to do that other than with art, I think that, like, if you come up with an idea to make a building, like, that's a lot of work, or to make a movie, or, it's just like, but we have this opportunity to, like, make shit really fast.
Right. And unlike designing a building or, even visual art to some degree, you also have this thing where you can bring that song out again and again and again, especially in a live performance, and it's not the same creature every time.
Oh, that's for sure. Every time it'll be different, yeah.
So, but as independent musicians, there are some that work a day gig, and that gives them the freedom from having the following per se, right? And there's some that try to have the following. Neither approach is wrong.
I agree. Yeah, it's just whatever you want, whatever you feel like doing.
How do you feel? I mean, how do you feed this whole thing? Are you
I've been in a cover band, and, like, I enjoyed it, but after a certain while, it kind of gets old if you're really playing the same, handful of songs.
Right.
Depending on, like, if you're, I don't know, just. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I have a lot of friends that do it. I do it. I did it on Saturday. But I'm like, I get the same amount of joy as, like, going in the studio with my friends and, like, mixing it, and then not the same amount of joy.
Do you consider is this your full-time gig then, music?
No. I
what else do you do?
I do real estate and, like, property management stuff.
Okay.
Or I have done that.
Yeah.
I run a couple of Airbnbs.
I'll have to show you my Airbnb.
Oh, very cool.
See, musicians, you have to find ways in which to feed the habit, so to speak. And there's nothing wrong with that. I think. I think that the challenge and trying to the care and keeping of a following. Some people are able to do it. Some people aren't able to do it.
I'm trying to get a job at UPS right now. That'd be kind of ideal, I think. Just like,
I think it's hard to be a realtor. I had my real estate license, and for a brief time.
Yeah.
And I realized
I did it for like 5 years, and I was all right at it, but I just, I'd rather just, like, keep my head down, and I don't know.
I just found, like, the times that you have to show are usually on weekends.
Yeah.
And in evenings.
Right.
And that's like.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Slams into your whole music.
Yeah.
Routine. Do you consider, now? Do you feel settled? Do you feel like I'm in? This is my home. Chicago area. I'm going to. I now have these different genres that I'm going to follow. Whatever carbon life form listens. Or not.
Yeah.
So the commercial end of it, as much as one can say a commercial end of it for an independent musician, it's interesting. You kind of have to be philosophical about it, right?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you have to kind of look at it and just say, I'm doing this because this is me.
Yeah.
And I have to do it.
Yeah.
But then there's this expectation sometimes that,
I feel like regarding, like, your question about, like, cover bands, I feel like if there was, even if those people that, like, are in the diehard cover bands crushing it, if they all would also just do this, like, then maybe we might get more people to come out to, like, more original shows. But, like, and I don't want to put that on cover band people, and I'm in a cover band, like I said, but like, I just think that like, what are we in it for? Like, it's just fun, even if like our songs suck, like, let's just like make a bunch of songs that suck.
Well, and I want to take that a step further, and I think, you know, I always want to ask the audience, or I just want to ask people that are out there, you know, what brings you into live music? I mean, there's that energy of live performance that you cannot capture in the studio. But,
Sure.
and, you know, if you're going to, and I get it, you know, I mean, you know, I've played covers in my life and still do, you know, with Switchback. I mean, there's certain covers we do that, you know, we've bastardized them, made them our own. But the point being is you know, your audience, the audience, I feel nowadays almost has to be educated. I mean, we kind of lost the way with our, you know, maybe the younger generation, and in the sense that, you know, they've chosen a different route of appreciating and taking in music, except for Taylor Swift fans who come by the millions. But that's a whole other can of worms. I mean, the small clubs, people coming in, people experiencing that. You know, do you think that's going to be a thing of the past? Do you think like that's, you know?
I don't know. I mean, it's increasingly harder to run a business, a small business in general.
Would you ever open up a club again?
I would not.
Well, you're emphatic about that. Why? Now, why is that?
It's you know, I don't know. I've got a friend trying to open up one right now, and he's like consulting on it, and I think he's going to do well, but I don't want to. I don't, you know, it's just not for me at this point. I don't know. I've got 2 kids, and
Are they musical or?
they saw me play yesterday for the first time with the band.
Oh wow! How was that?
Well, not for the first time, but first time like with this band.
Yeah.
And for the first time, my son's just like really hard about music. Like he's just like, you ask him if you like something and he doesn't like it. You know, and which is fine. You know, I think that's like a kid's job is to go against what their parents like. But for the first time yesterday, he's like, Dad, I really like the music. And I was like, oh, what do you like? He's like, I really like the drums.
Oh.
And I was like, oh, that's cool.
That's
Yeah.
chip off the old block there, maybe.
That was really nice to hear.
Yeah, I mean, with my daughter, you know, she's been around it.
Yeah.
You know,
She plays a lot of instruments. It sounds like. That's really cool.
Yeah, she, you know, but I've never forced it. I mean, I just kind of almost, my joke is like, I'm like, you know, I'm still hoping she'll become a neurosurgeon.
Yeah.
Because it's not, you know, what we're doing is, I think, one of the hardest things to do.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, no, I agree. Yeah. And what I probably try to say is maybe use a little reverse psychology. Like, those are Dad's guitars. You are not allowed to touch them.
Right.
Just, like, leave them out.
Right. Well, that's you know, that's funny you say that because we have a song in Switchback, "Drawn to the Light," which is about Stevie Ray Vaughan and, you know, and Jimmy Vaughan. And Jimmy Vaughan would beat the crap out of Stevie.
Oh, he would.
Stevie Ray, you know, don't touch.
Oh, yeah.
And then
Nice.
leave. And,
Sweet.
and he was on top of it, you know,
Yeah.
and so that's
good.
It's the reverse psychology.
Yeah, that's a good way.
Does work
Yeah, totally.
to some degree. So, what are your goals now? I mean, you're recording. Are you performing out your material with the band then?
Well, sometimes we'll play. Like, I'm in a duo with the piano player, and we've done like some of my new originals. Me and him just recorded a record.
Okay.
I got a hankering to just like write a bunch of New Orleans inspired music, and I went to New Orleans for like 3 days and hired a local piano player down there to like sit in my Airbnb. We rented Airbnb with a piano and wrote a bunch of tunes for a couple of days. And that was like a dream come true. It was really cool. It was Papa John Gross, who's an awesome piano player from down there.
Yeah, I don't know him, but I'll
He's
take your
great.
word for it.
And then
yeah.
I was going to go back down there and record it, and then I had my daughter, and then just time slipped away, and then it just became more. It's just hard to get down there and record a record for a week, and you know.
Were you able to take some of the tracks back?
So yeah, I got all the the stuff we worked on my phone, and then for a long time I was looking for a keyboard player here in Chicago that can kind of do that Professor Longhair, Dr. John style.
Oh God, yeah.
And it's really hard to do.
Yes.
And I put out several posts on like a musicians pages trying to find someone. Even like met a couple people, but they just like couldn't hang really, or we just didn't vibe. Like one guy, I smoked pot, and I was just like, hey, I'm gonna go into the other room to smoke, and then I came back into the room, and he was all upset that like I brought that I smelled like weed in the room, and I was just like, oh, this isn't gonna work, man. I'm like, I just went outside to be nice.
Right, you're being considerate.
Yeah, and then
what do you have to spare yourself?
Whatever. He didn't have the awesome long hair style anyway, but like I made that post a few times. It didn't work, and then I was like, got the hankering to just make it one more time. It was more of a little more specific than just like, can you play Professor Longhair? It's also, are you willing to like learn bluegrass on piano? Or like fiddle tunes on piano.
What's drawing you into that? Because that's so different from like Professor Longhair. I mean, you're kind of moving.
I think it just maybe like Colorado thing where like I would see Leon Redbone and bluegrass in the same year when I was 16. Just I'd see him at the festivals.
Well, you might like our stuff. I mean, we're like Celtic Americana.
Oh, that's awesome. I'm sure I would.
Start out playing Irish music. But I can appreciate that, that desire.
I'm learning a bunch of Irish tunes right now, actually.
Yeah. Keepers, what's the matter? Keepers, the Wonder Dog is patrolling for us. Let's. Do you have anything bluegrassy that you want to play, or do you have any of the New Orleans stuff?
I've got both.
Hey, quiet girl.
See then, let's see, bluegrassy.
Or is there something that the public can launch into? Check out.
This is blue. I guess this could be a little bluegrassy. It's called Light. It's called Light Bends Round.
Light Bends Round. We're with Starcrumbs here.
It's with my buddy Mark Lavengood on.
Okay. Let's listen in.
Dobro.
Oh wow, I love Dobro. Let's listen in.
Well, you heard a certain song on the radio that you'd heard 1,000 times before, but you found a new meaning and you can't describe the feeling of heart bounce from ceiling to floor. I wanna go where the light bends round and the rainbows are ready to roar. I wanna go where the future's bright and there's a stage behind every barn door. I'm a turtle that thinks he's a rabbit, dangle a carrot and I'll grab it. Then pass me a torch, we'll play guitar on your porch and have at it. I wanna go where the light bends round and the rainbows are ready to roar. I wanna go where the future's bright and there's a stage behind every barn door. Watch your tongue, or a perforated paper might just get you spun. You got no idea where I come from. One thing about Carl Jung that he forgot to say, though he rarely went astray, was motherfreaking hip-hop hooray. I wanna go where the light bends round and the rainbows are ready to roar. I wanna go where the future's bright and there's a stage behind every barn door.
I don't know why I played that one. It's not one of my favorite or better tunes, but
I like it. I think anybody that can reference Carl Jung in a song is I'm a fan of.
With a made-up quote.
We're winding things down here on this first podcast. I'm going to have Nic on the second one where we delve a little more into his creative, the songwriting process. But, you're an interesting, you're a very interesting person because you've walked a lot of different roads, to get to where you're at right now. And you're not done walking, which is kind of nice, I mean, I like the fact that you're devoted to the idea of just keeping the creativity going on, and I think that's really important because I think a lot of people kind of lose that.
Yeah.
As far as maybe tucking into a genre and just hanging on to it for dear life and such. But
I mean, it helps to have like good friends that you can call on. That like last Monday I was writing horn lines with my buddy Greg.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, well, he's helping me flesh it out because I can hear something but I can't write it out.
Mm-hmm. What's interesting with you is you got these musicians and you're recording at your house. Do you feel like maybe the way to reach your audience is by also kind of eclectic means? I mean, you have these Airbnbs. I mean, they're almost like they could be performance spaces.
Like
or
they
something
have
like
a
that.
barn, or like a house cabin with like 10 acres, and I did throw quite a few parties.
Yeah.
And I would try to perform at them, but also just like, I didn't want to be like the guy that's like featuring my band at the festival,
Mm-hmm.
and then also just kind of running the party
Right.
too. So,
Well, it's hard. But still, I mean...
but I've done it. But that's again where it's just like I gotta have the band come out and force my songs on them, and which is like I've got friends that are willing to do it, but like it just seems like a lot of work. Where I'd rather just be like, hey, let's come over and like let's just work out a new song,
Right.
and then we have that, and then we played this show and like sure it was fun, but we didn't get to keep anything from it, and I just like making tunes that like I get to revisit, or like really it's for my kids to kind of like get to know who I was. I would say is
Right.
probably like my main reason I make music.
Oh, very cool. Okay. I totally appreciate that. I think that's very freeing.
Yeah.
Do you feel that way? I mean, you feel like, hey, I kind of know why I'm doing this, so
Yeah, I guess it is, right.
I don't have to be in a club. I don't have to have a band. I don't have to. I'm doing this, and I don't have to have an audience necessarily.
Yeah, no, that's for sure.
You know?
I mean, I typically don't have very many monthly listeners, and I try not to like let it get me down because that's not why I do it. I have to like remind myself that like I'm only doing this like, I mean, it's nice to be appreciated and like heard and stuff, but like it's more of a self-discovery thing, I think.
Well, if it was a level playing field, I think you might, I'll speak for myself. I know that the playing field's not level. So therefore, when I get those feelings, I have to remind myself, it's not a level playing field.
Well, even if it is, it's like people's stuff is more palatable than mine. I just like to do,
I think your stuff is very palatable, though. From what I've listened, I've enjoyed the hell out of it. And how can people get in touch with you?
I guess on Instagram, I'm Dr. Starcrumbs.
Dr. Starcrumbs.
And then on Facebook, I've got just Starcrumbs on Facebook. And then you can stream my music anywhere you stream music, I would say.
Okay, great. We're going to be putting that into the visual, and you'll also, those of you that are listening to it just as an audio, you'll see it in the notes, how you can hunt down Dr. Starcrumbs, which I even like better than Starcrumbs. I don't know why, but Dr. Starcrumbs. I like the nom de guerre kind of, because I think that frees you again. I think for what you're doing, you almost. I think you need that, right? You kind of maybe. Do you want to have that persona?
I mean,
like Leon Redbone. Like you said, hey, he wasn't in character.
So I mean,
I thought that was interesting. You said that.
One of my like records I did. that you can only find it if you're searching for Sealed Casket, but it's actually under that. It's a Scott Jackson record, and that was like my character in the band, and I did like a whole album in like with a British accent, and like I loved that. I do like. I feel like every song is a little bit of a character, or I'm taking something on that's like a little bit of me and a little bit of something else, and I don't know if that's just because I'm just trying stuff out, or if I haven't found like my true voice. But either way, like I'm having fun. Like sometimes I'll record a song like 3 different ways.
Mm-hmm. I have no problem with the idea of channeling a voice.
Yeah.
You know, we did a song on an album, Old Barn Dance, and you know, I wrote it because my daughter was born during the polar vortex.
Oh yeah, cool.
And so I had to get her up and walk her around, and it was freezing cold in this house because this house built in 1908 has no insulation whatsoever. And she would be crying out and say, "Hey, you know, Papa's got to put on his old black jeans." And so I was carrying around. I thought, well, just change it. Papa's can put on his old, you know, doeskin pants.
Okay.
I think that would sound a little more like, you know, you know. And then a calico shirt, and you know, just kind of a call and answer kind of thing. But I came up with this, and you know, that's. And I had a friend, a musician that I respect a lot, and she said to me, "Why are you doing that?" And I said, "Because if I sang it in my voice, it wouldn't be cool, you know. I mean, it wouldn't serve the song, you know.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's how I
So
feel.
I think that's awesome that you're. I don't think you need to find your voice.
Yeah.
You know, I think you have a voice.
I think I'm getting closer. So like every record, I feel like I'm getting slightly closer. Mm-hmm. Maybe a little bit.
Well, I
don't
hope
know.
when you find what you think your true voice is, that doesn't stop you from
trying other ones. Yeah.
throwing characters in,
Yeah.
because the fact that you can channel those things and they come out, I think.
I mean, I'm a huge Waits fan. Like I've seen him like 12 or 13 times, and even though he's putting on a character, so to speak,
Yes.
it's like I wouldn't want it any other way.
Well, and early Tom Waits.
Oh yeah.
The guy had a very polished, beautiful
But
voice.
he sure did the early years.
And then,
I mean, yeah.
and then it went down to, you know.
Yeah, he was like a folk singer.
And I don't know, you know. But one last question. Are you a writer? Do you write as well? You strike me
Yeah,
as
I do.
somebody, you have to be a writer.
Yeah.
Are you going to pursue that?
No, probably not. But like, I don't know. Like, I've been writing a lot of jokes lately.
Okay.
And I'm working on a little comedy set. I've like dabbled with comedy over the years, but I think I'm gonna. My son is really good at drawing, and so I just took one of his drawings and animated it for him in some AI software, and it was a turkey, so I just like whatever made some silly dialogue for it, but he loved it.
Great.
And my daughter loved it, so I'm like, oh, I can like write little jokes and have his animations kind of animated and being animated out and be a fun little project. So I'm doing that right now.
I want to thank you for being on this podcast, and the next interview we're going to do, we'll get more into your music, but I just want to, recap that I think it's great that you kind of defined who you are. You're honest about trying to find your voice, but you're also, you're very grounded in the sense like, I'm also thinking about my kids, thinking about the legacy for them going down the road. You strike me as a person that doesn't have, it's not carrying around a big ego. And that's, congratulations.
Oh, thanks.
I mean, you're in the toughest business there is, I think. Outside of maybe visual arts where you have to carry a set of band equipment, you have to carry all the
It's
art.
just not a business because I'm just not making money. It's just like
A calling.
I just feel like I've really separated that, and I would love to be able to subsidize it with just more money coming in from it. But like, I'm doing it regardless, and I've been doing it since I was 15. Regardless, I mean, I just remember like when we were 15, I was like, we got. I forgot how much it was back then. Maybe it was like $500, and we go recorded some bad studio, and then they give you like 50 takes. You know, I've just always loved doing that, putting stuff out, and like, you know, we would make tapes and then like sell them at school. You know?
Yeah.
And I loved that. And even now that you can't sell them now, it's just like they've made it really easy to just put stuff out.
Oh yeah. Well, I salute your creativity, and we are going to talk to Nic in the next interview. We're going to get a little more into the creative process that he likes to employ. And for those of you, Dr. Starcrumbs, look for him. There's a great picture of him out near Marengo, Illinois, by the way, which, you know, he had a beard and everything then.
Yeah.
You know, I was like looking at it, I was like, I can't wait to talk to this guy. So, and thank you guys for tuning in, listening, and we're going to be back with the next interview with Nic right after you see this one. And thanks for supporting this show. We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening. For more information about this show or a transcript, visit martinmccormack.com. While there, sign up for our newsletter. See you next time on Strung Out.
It's all so wrong, this pain we feel makes no sense at all. A swan song was a part of the deal, was no good.